Joining us now on Beyond the Blast Doors Live is the co-host of the Imperial Senate Podcast. I got to meet this person in Chicago at Star Wars Celebration in April, and she is a joy. She is so funny, and I'm glad to know that it's not just on the show. She's like this in real person. And then when we had her on before we started recording, before we went live today, hysterical. She's actually the inspiration behind our title. So, live on Beyond the Blast Doors, joining us now from the Imperial Senate Podcast, we have Clare Stribling. Everybody, a round of applause. She's here. We're so happy.
Oh, I get a round of applause. That's awesome.
You actually get a standing ovation. Well, two of the three of us are standing. Jesse's just so tall we have to have him sit.
We actually tried this before the show. I tower over the other day.
If they still had thick phone books, I think David and I could use those, but we don't get those delivered anymore.
I really just want to focus, Claire, on the fact that you just got a standing ovation and all you did was say hello. So I think this is going very well for you. If this was a job interview, you probably have the job by now, if that's any indication. How are you doing? We're so glad that you're with us.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here on the YouTubes. I don't often get to be on the YouTubes. It's very exciting for me.
Well, because you guys over the Imperial Senate Podcast, you have Charlie and Nikki. You guys are just audio, right?
Yeah, we're just audio. We technically do have a YouTube channel.
Oh, shameless plug.
There's not a thing on it.
Oh, it's a work in progress.
That will be changing in the near future, so get ready.
Well, that's exciting. Cool. You brought us a tease. That's exciting. That's a cool gift. I think before I'm sorry, what was that?
Oh, I just said sizzle.
Oh, sizzle, yes. Sizzle. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of this interview, so to say, I got to get some clarification because, Claire, you and I have kind of been interacting on social media for, I don't know, we'll say 6 months to be safe. But every tweet I feel like you post, every photo you have somehow includes Salacious Crumb. And even on the photo, the thumb for this interview is Salacious Crumb. So for the love of God, can you please explain why you have this fixation with this ugly character that you say is cute?
How dare you? Oh my God, that's my child, first of all.
Oh
so get out.
Oh my.
No, so I will admit the Salacious Love kind of started as a joke because he bothered my brother so much. He hated him. So anytime he'd be on screen, I'd be like, yes, the crumb. And I just his laugh is just so infectious. And I think I want one on my shoulder. Like the Galaxy's Edge thing, I nearly passed out at Celebration when I saw it. I started crying. I'm not even joking. I was like, oh my God, I can have a crumb. But I love him so much.
How extensive is the Salacious Crumb collection? Because I feel like you've got to have a couple plushies maybe, or like a pillow, or
yeah.
I mean,
I need a body pillow. I need a life size, or I need a Swolacious Crumb body pillow. That's what I need.
I'm really concerned for the fandom if that actually becomes a reality. No, we appreciate you.
I have a crazy collection. It's really,
Do you?
It's starting to get out of hand a little bit. My entire desk, I can't really turn my camera around, but my entire desk is Salacious, pretty much.
How many items
There's
would you say?
There's a few other Star Wars things, but yeah, he's my boy.
Over 50 items of Salacious Crumb.
Oh. Under 50, but that's only because his merchandise is limited. Celebration was heaven for me because I was like, this is the one place on the earth that I can find Salacious Crumb merchandise. I budgeted for this. I was like, I'm gonna buy all of this stuff. And I had to have a few people talk me off the ledge to not buy this $500 figure arts Salacious Crumb figure. I need him though. I need him so bad.
When I look through the magazine and I wonder who the heck would buy something like this, it's Clare Stribling. That's good to know that they make this stuff for you. No, really excited. I didn't know if it was like a Daniel Kennedy, the guy who's in charge of Star Wars Celebration. He has a ridiculous Kylo Ren collection, and I just didn't know who had the more intense collection, him or you with your Salacious Crumb love. But it does pose another question that Jesse, I'll let you ask.
Well, we're just talking about this wonderful, exciting moment for you about this $500 item. Let's talk about seeing that Quakian lizard monkey on a spit roasting in the Mandalorian trailer. Did that just break your heart?
So here's the funny thing. I did not win any lottery or overflow at all for the Mandalorian.
Oh,
so
Jesse.
I did not see it. But yeah, and I remember the moment I was so mad at the Star Wars show stage cut the footage right after Jon Favreau goes, okay, so who wants to see some real footage? And then it cut the footage to all of us. And I was like, okay. And then about 10 minutes later, I was flooded with DMs and like tweet. Everybody was adding me on Twitter or like texting me. I would get it. My phone was being blown up. I was like, leave me alone. No, I didn't see it. And everybody was joking about it. And so it's probably good in a sense that I didn't get to see the footage because I probably would have like thrown up and nobody wants to deal with that.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it was actually Crumb himself. So, I mean, there is that, but
no, but he and his brethren are just so adorable. And it's also apparently there was one in a cage watching his friend get roasted. That's horrible. I get it. People don't like Kowakian monkey lizards, but that is messed up. Come on, people.
I heard they make a really good veal.
A really good veal.
Veal parmesan. Okay, that was my one effort. Okay. All right, Jesse, what's next?
No, just that was kind of like my punchline there. Like, the reason I asked that question is because I mean you've got the exclusive Mandalorian poster on your wall, and I'm like, how'd you get that?
I do.
Like, who'd you bribe for that?
Well, I guess the next question I thought Jesse was going to ask was, what are your thoughts or what's your excitement right now about the Mandalorian, knowing that we get our first look at that in November?
Oh God, I don't even know where to begin because the very little that I've seen, I've just been blown away. And hearing everybody talk about it at Celebration, and I have faith in Filoni and Favreau. Like, that duo is just going to do marvelous things with Star Wars. And listening to like Werner Herzog talking about geeking out, even though he's never seen a Star Wars movie, geeking out about it from the filmmaker aspect of him being like, no, seriously, this production is unlike anything you've seen. That is, I don't even know where to begin. It's just, it is going to be something incredibly special, and I'm trying to keep my hopes low and realistic because then if I've overblown this in my mind, it might be
That's
a letdown.
The
but
same feeling that I think everybody had walking out of that panel was, I mean, I got immediately hit with questions like, what'd you see? And I was like, I couldn't really process like into words. I was like, it's going to be good. Like, you should be really excited about it. And so just hearing that from somebody who didn't actually get to see, everything that I did.
Way to brag about it, Jesse.
Well, I mean, like,
it's
nice knowing that, like, that's everybody's impression and everything. Like, everybody's really excited.
I think the one thing you can tell, though, and Claire, agree or disagree, from just the teaser footage that we all got to see, we can agree that the world building here, like, Jon Favreau is building a huge world, but there's going to be, like, a lot of intimate moments. I just think about, like, all the close-ups on the characters that were shown. I think that's just done for hype and to not reveal anything major. But, like, the world building here, I mean, this is Jon Favreau. This is the Lion King. This is the Jungle Book dude. This is Iron Man 1 dude. Like, he is going to build us a wonderful world to play in.
Oh, absolutely. I can't believe how little I've gotten. And if we don't get any more, I'm satisfied.
Well,
I'm in.
I think we might get some more at D23. There's a good chance that with that being this year.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah. So we'll see. David, what do you have?
So, Claire, the chat room right now on our live feed is blowing up. And if we have some time, I'll ask you some of the questions that they have in there. But we're going to spend a large chunk of the rest of this episode talking about that Vanity Fair article that dropped earlier this week. So between what you've seen in that and all the pictures and all the stories about the new characters and planets and what you saw at Celebration, what are you looking forward to this December as we wrap up this Skywalker saga with the end of this third trilogy?
So I love Return of the Jedi, not only because it has my boy Salacious in it. I always have to throw him in every second sentence I can. But in that movie, we finally get Prime Jedi Master Luke Skywalker. And I am so excited to see Prime Jedi Master Rey and see how she and Kylo have both developed in this time. And just the photos that I've seen of them and the Knights of Ren, I have no idea what's going on. And I'm so excited about it. I have no idea where we're going to be. And I'm just floored. It's beautiful. It is, all of the photos are just unbelievably gorgeous. The cinematography from the trailer was mind-blowing. And everybody gets to be together again. And they have so much chemistry together, and it's so clear in the panel how much they all cared for each other and how much chemistry they have, and finally getting those scenes with them together. So seeing pictures of them and Dad and JJ being a dad behind the scenes as well and looking adorable, cutest dad ever. I'm just so excited because I feel like that chemistry is just going to pour off of the screen, and it's going to be something really, really special. And these photos just emanate that good vibes feel. I'm just, oh my gosh, I'm so ready.
We're going to weigh in this conversation a little bit, but Claire, you can go ahead and place your bet. The scene with Kylo and Rey dueling, is that on top of the Death Star 2 or is that on top of the Millennium Falcon?
My bet is Death Star 2.
Yes.
That is what I will put in.
Yes.
Now.
You're fueling Jesse. You're fueling him. That's not what you're supposed to do, Claire. No, that's okay.
It looks like the
Tally
Death
one.
Star. Don't you touch my Falcon?
Oh
No.
my gosh. You don't think that would be insane if they were flying through like the snow or the rain and they were dueling on top of the Falcon? Because like they can't shake him off because Rey's on there too. And even if she is a master at this point, I think that the Vanity Fair referred to her that her training is almost complete to become a Jedi. So kind of like Luke. Like Luke in Return of the Jedi wasn't a Jedi at the beginning. I mean, he became a knight by the end of that movie. So I think we're going to see that transition in episode 9 here. But it's going to be fun to see them head to head. I think my last question for the Rise of Skywalker though would have to be: is Kylo getting redeemed, or is Kylo going to die a bad guy? Ooh, wow, we silenced her.
Ooh.
That's
You
like, did you hear the
stumped her.
crickets?
I go back and forth.
What do you want?
But what I want
Yeah.
is I want Kylo to be redeemed, and I want him to help save the day, but I want him to live. And the only reason I say that is because Vader became redeemed at the end of Return of the Jedi,
Okay.
and then he died. But let's be real, the general sentiment around the galaxy is this guy sucks, and Luke's pretty much the only one who knows. No, he's on the light side again. How does a galaxy deal with somebody who has supposedly become redeemed, and how does the galaxy deal with them post all these atrocities if they have decided to change sides? What are the consequences for Kylo in a world where the good guys win and he makes it out alive and helps save the day? I think that it could make for super fascinating supplemental material. That's pretty much the reason why I was like, I want the post Rise of Skywalker Kylo Lives novel.
Claire's all about those novels and merchandising and comic lines, so thank you.
Yes.
Hey, we had someone from the live chat say, has Claire read the Legends of Luke Skywalker story with Salacious Crumb and the mite creature that gave him his humor? That's from our own Marie
Lugubrious
Wilson.
Moat. Yeah, I've read Lugubrious Moat, and if you can read that story and think that Lugubrious Moat is a reliable narrator, I think you're kidding yourself. Salacious is the real star. He is charming. He is unapologetically himself. He has charisma. He is befriended. He's the one person who's closest to the most bad gangster in the galaxy and snuggles him at night and shares his food because he's so charming and great. Okay, he's the only person that close to Jabba because he is charming and entertaining and he makes him laugh every day. No, Lugubrious Moat, full of it.
I think we have 2 questions left for you, Claire. I was looking at Jesse. That was strange what my brain just did. David, what's the last fan question that we have from the live chat?
Carlos Perez in the live chat's joining the conversation. He says, what role do you think Zori Bliss will play in episode 9?
Zori Bliss being Kerry Russell's character that was confirmed in the Vanity Fair report.
Ooh. So I don't want to. I mean, there's the George-ism that it's poetry, it rhymes.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as her costume goes, I automatically think my girl Zam from Attack of the Clones, Zam Wesell.
Okay.
So my first thought is bounty hunter trying to mess up the plans for the Resistance, hired by maybe Kylo, maybe this Allegiant General Richard E. Grant. But I don't know. I feel like she's not going to have a major contributing role considering how little we've actually seen.
And how much we have to wrap up.
Yeah, and how much we have to wrap up. I feel like she's going to have like a Zam level cameo, and her outfit screams bounty hunter, and she's probably going to just try and shake things up for the Resistance. Although I think it would also be a fascinating twist if the Resistance happened to hire some scum, because like we've explored in Rogue One, The rebels aren't, perfect in their tactics either. So who knows? I think that she's super intriguing though, and that I want that costume for myself in every single color.
Claire, the last question I have for you today on Beyond the Blast Doors, and again, thank you so much for coming on the live show, is Galaxy's Edge open in California. It will open at the end of August in Disney World, the Florida park. The first thing you do when you get to Galaxy's Edge is?
Buy the Salacious Crumb puppet for my shoulder.
I feel like we knew that. I thought there was a chance that you would go to the ride or maybe get like some Gold Squadron lager like I will, but it's Salacious Crumb.
Oh man. Yeah, and I also have to go chill at the cantina, because as a bartender by part of my trade, I've got to buy these obnoxiously expensive cantina drinks.
Just to give them a try.
But then probably the next thing I would go for is that Rise of the Resistance ride, because I think it looks awesome. And I'm on the Imperial Senate podcast. I love the bad guys. I love that vibe. So I'm really excited to explore a First Order.
Speaking of the podcast, we're so glad that you took the time to be on the show. Claire, real quick shout out, how and when can we hear you guys have your Star Wars conversation over at the Imperial Senate podcast?
So our release date kind of changes, but we record usually every week to week and a half. We have varying schedules, so sometimes it's difficult, but you can listen to us on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify, and and you can find us on Twitter at Imp Senate Pod and find me on Twitter at CStribs.
Claire, thank you so much for joining us as part of our Star Wars conversation today. Jesse, David, and myself are so glad that you agreed to this, and we'll be sure to stay in touch, and we'll talk soon. Clare Stribling with the Imperial Senate Podcast. Thanks so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for watching Beyond the Blast Doors. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget, give us a thumbs up and leave a comment. Beyond the Blast Doors, a Star Wars conversation.